What is up, everybody? Welcome to Just Geeking Out. We are live, as you can see. I'm Lawrence St. Victor, and just fairly new to this live thing on this channel. So I don't imagine a whole lot of people is going to trickle in. But if you do, make sure you add in your 2 cents to what I'm talking about. I'm going over some geek news. And if you catch it on the replay, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And do that if you join the live anyway. So today we have it's not as much news, but there's some fun stuff to go over. Um, First, I'll tell you about my week, which has been pretty darn good. Very busy, but being busy is a blessing, so I'm not upset about that. I've been watching Reacher, which it has me in a freaking chokehold. That show is my jam. I love me some Reacher. I'm behind on Invincible, and I think that's it. As far as geeky content goes, Invincible and Reacher is kind of what I'm watching right now. And of course, Daredevil Born Again. We're going to talk about that on this stream. But first up, man, let's talk about let's talk about the Powerpuff Girls. So the Powerpuff Girls, for those of you who don't know, it's a cartoon of these three superheroes who are kind of created in a lab. And it's a really fun cartoon. These three little girls fight crime. They go against Mojo Jojo. And yeah, I'm going to pull up a picture so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so they, hold on, technical difficulties. Bear with me. That's much better. So yeah, man. So we're going to get a live action series a few years ago of the Powerpuff Girls all grown up. And a lot of people hated the idea. A lot of people hated the premise. And it got canceled. Well, this week the trailer was leaked. And people are very upset about this trailer. I watched it. If you want to see it, I think you'll have a better time finding it on TikTok. You can see a lot of people's commentary on YouTube. If you just want to see the trailer for yourselves, personally, I do think it was wrong. As far as like the core fan base of Powerpuff Girls are probably like, what is this? I hate this. It's cringy. But when I think of it as kind of like what The Boys has done with the superhero genre, like these shows that are kind of poking fun at the original, it's kind of funny that these three little girls grew up to be not so nice, not so sugar and spice. I think if it came out at a different point in time, definitely with a better budget, I don't think the CW was able to could handle a kind of show like that, especially at that time. But I think a cynical version of a grown-up Powerpuff Girls mature show actually could work. I think it could actually work in 2025. Uh, Let me know your thoughts. I'm not saying the way they were doing it, but yeah, like I think now we're ready to see our superheroes like kind of like turned upside down. So I don't know. I thought it's clever. I don't know. The execution I think was an issue, but I find it to be pretty clever. Let's stick on TV, man. So The Last of Us. Well, this isn't TV. This is actually video games, but it'll affect the TV show because apparently we're not going to get a Last of Us 3 in the game. There's no Last of Us 3. I guess Naughty Dog said that they're pretty much out. They're done. Which, if you watch the series, then you know, like, oh, they really can only go up to a certain point unless they're going to start writing their own story, which They could, but sometimes that's when they get into a bit of trouble when they start writing their own stuff and not sticking to the source material. So I'm kind of upset about that. I'm a big fan of The Last of Us. The game to me is just cinematic genius. It's probably the best like cinematic gameplay experience I've ever had, and I love those kind of games where I'm immersed in the world and it feels like I'm playing a movie. So that's that, man. That's that. Let's go talk. Let's talk about this, some cartoons real quick. Let's talk about some cartoons. So finally, for those of you who are wondering, we're going to finally get a One Punch Man season three. The makers said that it's actually going to come out this year, 2025, which I'm very excited about. And this is crazy, right? Like we're getting a season three to celebrate season one's 10-year anniversary. Season one came out in 2015, and season three is going to come out in 2025. They are really making us wait for this bad boy. I don't know all the inner workings. I know they changed studios from season one to season two. I didn't care for the creative choices in season two. Season one I loved. So hopefully it'll be closer to season one because that's what I liked. That's what I liked. But I'm very excited. I think One Punch Man's a brilliant concept of, again, like what they were trying to do with Powerpuff Girls, taking this kind of superhero genre and turning it on its head. You know, when you're a Superman, how bored are you that you can't get into fights that even entertain you or worth your while? Uh, and let's also talk about. So we got more information about Starfire as well as other DC shows. So apparently, it's not canon. James Gunn said this is not canon, and most of the animation is not going to be canon. Now, we did see Starfire pop up in Creature Commandos, so I guess that version of her is out there in the universe somewhere. We know they're trying to develop a Teen Titans series, so but whatever this is, this Starfire will not be a part of the DCU canon, which is fine. I actually like that. I love that DC is having titles that aren't necessarily um, canon. Like they don't have to stick to the continuity with some things. Yo, etc. So forth and so on. What's going on? Or so on and so forth. Let me put some respect on your name. One Punch Man versus Omni Man. Who would win? Dude, I gotta say, I think One Punch Man beats everybody. Because the nature of his powers is it takes one punch. That's the nature of his powers. And if you really exhaust him, if you really push him to his limits, then he might just throw two punches. And I don't care. Omni Man, Superman, Homelander, when they get into fights, it usually takes them more than one punch. One Punch Man all day, every day. Thanks for joining. Um, let's stick in TV for a little bit. Alan Richardson, who is Reacher. If you haven't seen Reacher, see Reacher. Um, he was doing an interview for I forget one of those online Wired questions. I'm promoting Reacher, promoting his series, which is a must watch. Reacher is fire. And he's asked, well, I guess this isn't really staying in TV, but he was asked if he wanted to play Batman. And he was like, even Goku, because even Goku at his most powerful still has to throw more than one punch. Um, maybe not Superman 1 million. Maybe not, no. But remember, this dude is so powerful, it just takes him one punch. Like, we haven't actually seen him get into a real fight where he has to throw more than two punches or three punches. I don't know. I don't know. I think, but in all fairness, I think that's the gag. Is that it's always one punch, maybe two. I think once you take him outside that gag, he's no longer One Punch Man. It's kind of like Bugs Bunny, right? Like no matter what, it doesn't matter what you do, you'll never be able to kill Bugs Bunny. He has Toonie powers. Like he can't be killed. Similar to One Punch Man, it's always going to take just about one punch. Um, but Alan Richardson, he was talking about like the fans are still clamoring for him to play Batman. And he's like, guys, James Gunn has went on Twitter and debunked. He says he will not be playing Batman. And he was like, I love that the zeitgeist and everybody's like still considering me for Batman. And he was like, he would play Batman for free. And then he went and did the Batman voice. It was like the Wired questions. Go look it up on YouTube. And yo, his Batman voice effortlessly was freaking fire. It was great. He would be a dope Batman. I always thought he was a great type for Batman, but the more I'm watching Reacher, I'm like, this dude is freaking Batman. And he's an amazing actor. Like, if you're not sure, go watch Blue Mountain State. Go see Thad Castle and watch Reacher, and you tell me if those two guys are the same dude. While we're talking about Batman, let's talk. Robert Pattinson did a little bit of press, and he's always asked about what is up with the Batman 2. And he was pretty much like, yo, I'm going to be too freaking old. I'm going to be too freaking old to play Batman. And let me know your thoughts on this, guys. No, etc. No way he can beat Hulk Hogan's finger poke of doom. No one is beating Hulk Hogan's finger poke of doom. Okay? Okay? While you're here, what are you thinking about this John Cena heel turn? What do you think about that John Cena heel turn? So Robert Pattinson, like, he's right. Like, the big thing about the Matt Reeves universe was that it's a younger Batman. And the events of the Penguin came out right after the first movie, like it's the next week. And I was like to believe that whatever the Batman 2 might be, it's the cleaning up of Gotham. It's a direct sequel. But it's taking so much time. Pattinson's no longer going to be young Bruce Wayne. Dude's going to be 40 maybe, 38, 39 by the time they start filming this thing. So I think it's going to affect their story. And I'm very excited to see his Batman grow up in his trilogy. Because when you think about it, we don't get Batman in his prime live action that much. A lot of it's the beginning, right? Batman 89, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight. I don't care what people say. The Dark Knight is like a year after Batman Begins. Um, we have those movies, which is Batman in his first couple years, The Batman. And then we have movies like Batman and Robin, George Clooney, The Dark Knight Rises. We see Ben Affleck as Batman, and that's Batman a little older. He's a little bit more seasoned. He's not in his prime, but he's still a beast. And then I would say Batman Returns and Batman Forever is Batman in his prime. He's not at the end of his career, but he's not in the beginning. And I was excited to see Pattinson, his journey and his trilogy go from year 2 to more Batman in his prime. Then by part 3, he's getting close to like in his 40s where he is older. But the way they're going, we about to skip the prime and go right to where we had Affleck. That'd be kind of crazy, right? If by the time they start shooting the Batman, Pattinson is close in age to what Ben Affleck was. I don't think it will be, but that kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. So I'm really hoping. I'm also being very selfish because I want that movie to happen. Um, so yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. Do you care? Do you care? Do you want the Batman to be a direct pickup, or do you want it to be more of it can jump forward 5 years? I don't want that, but let me know your thoughts on that. Let's talk some toys, man. Let's talk some freaking toys. So McFarlane dropped some toys that are coming out. We saw some during the toy fair, but we might be getting the best freaking Superman ever. I believe pre-orders will go out April 11th. Let me just double check that real quick. This is, I mean, this is what we've been waiting for, right? This is the best freaking Superman figure that they've made. My only issue is, and it's a nitpick, but I'm not a fan of the black outline around the S. I prefer it to be more how it's. Trying to see if I could, this is the Reeve, but you don't need the black outline. We can just have the red and the yellow, but just to get kind of a really great classic Superman figure, I'm feeling it. And they did say that there is a yellow S on the back. So yeah, it's going to be April 11th up for pre-order. It's it's the digital one, so you get the NFT whatever. But I never actually opened those things up, etc. What you got to say? It took too long and too late. Plus, I can't stand John Cena. He was way overhyped and overpushed. I'm a John Cena fan, bro. I have a John Cena autographed T-shirt, Chain Gang, right, right over there next to my Attitude Era belt, man. Uh, I loved it, and yeah, dude, if Cena went heel when he wanted to go heel, that would have been amazing. But WrestleMania season be cooking. Triple H is cooking to me. And I'll tell you what I like about his heel turn. I like that this farewell tour he's doing isn't just a gimmick, where he's going to play his greatest hits and go against Randy Orton. And maybe somebody will come back like Edge, or he'll do an angle with Angle. And it's kind of just John Cena saying goodbye. And he won't win the title, or he will win the title. Doesn't really matter. And that's it. Now that he turned heel, his farewell tour now, like, it has a story to it. He has to win. This is his last time. So I feel you. I wish it would have happened years ago. But I like that, like I said, there's a reason now why he's turning heel. There's a reason why his farewell tour is happening. And it's not just him playing his greatest hits. Uh, let's look at some more McFarlane toys, man. Now we're getting this Batman, the Justice Lords. I had to take a look. Gold label, Target exclusive, which sucks. I have to say, my Targets are pretty good. It's my Walmarts that kick me in the freaking butt. I'm not really interested in this figure, but it looks dope. There's no date to it, just says coming soon. But it looks cool. It looks cool. Love the head sculpt on that Batman. I dig it. Uh, McFarlane's gonna Batman. If anything, he's gonna Batman. Speaking of Batman, here's more Batman. We have this Batman right here, which is that I think Batman. What is it? Batman 1,000,000. Yeah, this is fire. It looks like it's the Speeding Bullets body buck, which I think is amazing. They could have used that for Superman. I would have been happy. I don't need it. But if you guys do, I mean, I see a lot of replacements parts here, and I don't know what the comic looks like, but the gloves feel wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's pretty cool, and it's got that wire cape. And then, this is starting to hit stores. This freaking Two-Face. It says pre-order April 11th, but people are already finding these in the wild, as well as the Platinums. Because this and this people are finding in the wild. Dr. Fate, which is they'll be up for pre-order same day. April 11th is a big you're gonna lose all your money day, and they're finding the Platinums in the wild. Now that's what I want. Which is going to be hard to find, but people are finding these in Walmarts. I checked my Walmart; it wasn't there. Check your Walmart. But that Two-Face is sick. For the price point, I don't feel like any of these figures are coming with enough accessories. They come with nothing, and I don't know the price. I guess I could look it up, but I assume they're going to be the typical digital price. What is that, $25? And it's too bad we can't get guns with this. I wouldn't have minded both of them being a little bit more expensive and being the collector's edition just to get more stuff. But that Two-Face is fire. Batman the Animated Series, etc. When he started off back in '03 as a heel, I was all down for him. But as soon as he went the Fruity Pebble route, I was out. I know that rhymed. Don't hate the play, hate the game. Hey, old school Cena bars. No, I love the heel gimmick in '03, and I liked the more hustle, loyalty, respect, chain gang kind of babyface turn before all the multiple colored T-shirts. Like right where he was still kind of aggressive, but didn't become like comedy. But I guess he was always funny. But I feel you. I like John Cena versus Edge with Lita is my favorite John Cena angle. So around that time of his babyface turn, I was completely down for it. Did you ever get the Chris Reeve comic book? No, dude, I didn't. I didn't love that figure because I didn't love. I actually think it's a better head sculpt than the regular movie one, but I didn't love all the cell shading on that. And I've never seen it in the wild, so maybe in hand it doesn't look as aggressive. But I've never seen it in the wild. I've never seen it in hand. But yeah, I'm loving this guy. I'm loving this guy, and I love his proportions. But I wasn't loving the cell shading. So if I see it in the wild and it looks dope, I'll pick it up. But I have not seen that anywhere. I'm sure you got it. The question is, did you get two? Did you get one to keep in box and one to open up? Because I don't know how you keep all these toys. For those of you watching, etc., he he keeps his toys in box. He's an in-box collector, which is dope. But now you got all these wired capes to display. It's begging for it to come out the box. Come out the box, etc. Um, so yeah, like I said, so back to the platinums. I wish they were collector's editions and we can get a little bit more in the box. And let's talk about some more toys, man. Marvel, well, Walmart Con is doing their thing. I think March 13th, you can go and order these figures at Walmart Con. We have some Gamerverse Spider-Man figures. We got this bad boy, Spirit Spider, and this is the one I'm crazy about the most. I love this figure. For those of you who don't know, this is Spider-Man 77, Nicholas Hammond, the first, not really the first, but the first live-action Spider-Man in an actual like Spider-Man series. I don't know if I think the Japanese one might have came out first, or they were simultaneous. But as far as Peter Parker Spider-Man, the first live-action series Spider-Man, and I'm an '80s baby, so I pretty much this was like playing on TV, or my dad would rent the videos from the video store. I didn't know that I was watching it 10 years after it came out because this 1977 live-action Spider-Man was the only live action Spider-Man we got until Tobey Maguire in like 2000. So let that sink in. That's how long we had to wait for a Spider-Man movie. All you kids are spoiled now. You get one every 4 years, 3 years. We had to wait like 20 years, 30 years for Spider-Man after Nicholas Hammond. So I'm going to get this guy, and I can't wait to pair him up with, my Spider-Man No Way Home figures because he's the missing one. And then maybe if I feel froggy, I'll hunt down the Japanese Spider-Man. Um, When he faced Brock Lesnar back in either '03 or '04 at Backlash or Judgment Day for the WWE Undisputed title, I was rooting for him. Yo, John Cena was cooking in the beginning of his babyface run. He was cooking. I have the 4 Christopher Reeve good and 4 of the bad one, each out of its box on display. Also have 4 Michael Keaton Batmans, 3 in box, 1 on display. Oh, you got the new? Wait, which one? You got the the new '89 Batman that came out, or were you talking about the Flash, Michael Keaton? Dude, like, did you go on eBay for these? Because are you finding these in the wild, or are you going on eBay, paying at eBay price? I wish if I would have found the bad Superman from Superman 3 out in the wild, I would have picked him up. But I wasn't really trying to. I didn't want to spend the money to order him either eBay or even online because it was like I that's an in the wild kind of figure. The new '89. Where are you finding these? Are you going Big Bad? Are you going eBay? Entertainment Earth? Let us know. How are you coming up on all these freaking figures, man? It's like a drought in Los Angeles. Um, so yes, this Nicholas Hammond will be up at CollectorCon, not CollectorCon, Walmart Con, excuse me, as well as some freaking He-Man figures. Now, let me tell you this: there's a lot of stuff going up. I'm only showing you the stuff I like, just to let you know. But we're getting this She-Ra figure. Now, Mattel, look at that. That's a pretty great head sculpt, man. I think Mattel is definitely gonna cook when it comes to the DC license. They're gonna cook. They're definitely gonna cook. I mean, let me see if I can make this bigger for you. I mean, look at this figure. Can you Can you imagine them doing a Wonder Woman? Mattel's gonna cook. I'm not happy about McFarlane losing the license because I've committed so much, but they're gonna cook, man. So I'm like, yeah, I missed out on the last She-Ra figure, so I want to cop that. And this faker is sick. Like this is like hitting me right in the nostalgia feels. And I don't have a Masterverse faker. I have Origins. And of course the original I still have. So I gotta cop this one. He's gonna go great next to my He-Man. I got the San Diego Comic-Con He-Man with the die-cast metal sword. It's freaking sick. And the Skeletor that comes with him has a moving jaw. It's so dope. So I'm copping him for sure. And that's all I care about at Walmart Con. This dude's actually dropping, or he already dropped. Pre-orders dropped for this guy already. Daredevil Born Again. I know Big Bad Toy Store, probably anywhere that sells these figures you can pre-order from. I don't love it, but I'm loving the series. And sometimes, like if I love the series, it's like I want to have a part of it or a piece of it. So we'll see if this series is going to make me buy a toy that I have no interest in buying. It's happened before. Um, Found in the wild in GameStop. Wow. This week I picked up the new Batman and Scarecrow from Batman Begins. How do you feel about that Batman Begins? I think it looks dope, but I know a lot of toy YouTubers are upset that you see I don't have a Dark Knight one close, but you see like under the armor, it has that texture that's on the Dark Knight suit, but the Batman Begins suit is supposed to be completely smooth. So do you care about that? I don't care about it, but I have like 2 bales, so I don't know if I need the Batman Begins. But again, if I see it in the wild, I might have to pick it up. But don't love it enough to order it and wait. That is sick. I need to come. I need to go where you live, man, because you finding all this stuff in the wild. But is that it for toys? That might be it for toys. Uh, I want to talk about this. I forgot about this when talking about TV. Captain Planet is going from the TV to the comic book, man. There's going to be a Captain Planet comic book. I believe it's Dynamite Comics is doing it, and I think it's going to take a similar approach that if you ever read the Power Rangers Boom comics, that approach where it's going to have the spirit and the heart of the cartoon, but it's going to have much more depth and much more circumstances and consequences, much more dramatic. And they're making a couple changes. Gaia, I believe her name is no longer like this Mother Earth god, but more of a human who's a conduit for the power. And each of the Planeteers is going to be much more specific. For Kwame, like he was a soccer player, and he's no longer a soccer player because he injured his knee and he works on his father's farm. And Wheeler is like this mechanic from Detroit with a chip on his shoulder. So like they're giving them much more specificity around their characters. But in essence, it's going to be what the cartoon was. So I'm kind of excited for that, man. That's kind of cool. Um, yeah, it didn't bother me either. What's underneath the Batman Begins figure? Like for me, if I wanted a one-to-one perfect depiction, I'd be saving my money and buying Hot Toys. Um, but I don't. I care that my toys are more of a representation of what was than it needs to be like a one-to-one perfect. Um, have you seen the Barker Mice from Mars figures? I thought about getting them though, but I think they're $30. Dude, I did. They're pretty freaking cool. Um, if I loved that series as much as I loved like Ghostbusters or Darkwing Duck, I did enjoy Biker Mice from Mars. But if I loved it like I love Ninja Turtles, 30 might not be so bad. Do they come with motorcycles? Or are the motorcycles separately? Let me look that up. Because if they come with motorcycles, then you know what I mean, that's kind of a steal. See, Biker Mice from they don't. Wow. Yeah, so you'd be paying $30 for the mice, and then is it $46? 46.99 I'm seeing for Entertainment Earth. Yeah. Now I don't love them that much, but they look dope. They look great. They're great sculpt. Did you see that Mondo's doing the real Ghostbusters? And like if you're talking about like an exact representation of the real Ghostbusters cartoon, Mondo's killing it. It's actually like in 6-inch form, so they're not huge, but you're talking like $100 a figure. I don't love the real Ghostbusters that much, but no hate to anybody that got them because they actually look sick. It's the last. If you love the cartoon, it is the first and last that you'll ever need to have. No, they don't. They haven't even shown them with the bikes figures only. That's not. I'm not. Yeah, that's way too steep. But they look great, so I ain't mad at you if you get it. But that's a lot. That's a lot. Uh, so yeah, real quick, man. Yeah, so Captain Planet is looking pretty cool. Just have no time to read comics, which is I know I'm spoiled with being busy because being busy is good, but I have no time. But I would actually love to pick this up. I really enjoyed Power Rangers run on Boom because it was like I said, it's the heart of the series, just more grounded and more real, and much more. The consequences are much more severe. So I might take a peek, but I can't say I'm going to commit to buying the run. We'll see. Maybe when it comes out, graphic novel later. We'll see. But yo, I want to talk about Daredevil Born Again. Now, I've already done a review on this, so you can check my channel. Hit the playlist. You're in the channel. Hit the playlist. Go to reviews. I did a whole review on Daredevil Born Again. I I was so tired. I was so sleep deprived, but I gotta get this out. I gotta get these thoughts out. So I might be yawning a few times. I apologize. But I loved Daredevil Born Again. Spoiler free first. I'm not gonna go into it. You can watch the review if you really want to know my in-depth thoughts. But here's just a couple points of I freaking loved it. It feels like a season 4. If you're on the fence, it feels like you can stop watching the Netflix and jump right into this. I will say the events of Hawkeye, the events of Echo matter here. They do matter. She-Hulk, not at all. So you can skip that one if you haven't seen it. But yeah, Kingpin in Hawkeye and Kingpin in Echo, they're in the same world, which kind of makes it a little confusing. But so okay, let me get into. Here's a little bit of spoiler territory, just to give you a heads up. But I really enjoyed it. I thought the beginning was a little rough for me. The CGI wasn't clean. It wasn't clean, and it made it feel like you're watching a different series than the Netflix series. It just made it feel like it just felt too clean, too much on a stage. Him swinging and running on the rooftops felt like 2005 CGI, like what you might have seen in the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. So it kind of took me out. But once we got past the opening credits, freaking chef's kiss. The show is dope. Show is absolutely dope. Um, it's amazing. And spoiler alert, he's not really in the suit. And the show is so good, and the Netflix one was so good as well, that the show is so much about Matt Murdock. Like you don't miss him in the suit. Like it's so good. So I highly recommend it. Um, I actually liked Hawkeye. I liked Hawkeye a lot. I'm in the minority. Hawkeye is probably one of my favorite uh, MCU Disney Plus series. I liked it. Echo was kind of like It was Um, anytime I get to see Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin is always a plus. I did like Hawkeye. I liked it. I like seeing because the Avengers and the MCU is always so clean. This is so superhero-y, which is great, but we never get to see the toll it takes. So to see the toll it took to be an Avenger on Hawkeye, since he's the only one without powers, really, with no Black Widow. Um, I don't. I like it. I like it. She-Hulk. Yeah, people didn't like She-Hulk. I didn't hate it as much as everybody else, but I can't. I won't defend it either. It happened. She twerked with Meg The Stallion. It happened. It is what it is. Why does his forehead look like you can drive? like, I can do my. Are you talking about mine? Because I got a 5 head. Are you talking about Charlie Cox? Maybe that's the requirement of being a superhero. And it's not just the jawline; it's the forehead. You know. But he gets all the ladies, man. Look at this guy. Matthew Murdock gets all the ladies. Don't be hating on Matt Murdock, man. Dude is and yeah, I don't want to get too much into this. Watch my review, but I loved it, etc. Did you see it? Did you watch Daredevil Born Again yet? What are your thoughts? What are your concerns? And let me know in the comment sections. What did you guys think of Daredevil Born Again? I liked it a lot. A little confused about some things, and I think it's because I wasn't sure what was canon and what wasn't canon when it came to it. Like, spoiler alert. No spoiler alert. I'm not going to hit you with spoilers right now. But yeah, I didn't know if Echo and Hawkeye played a factor, or is it just a direct pickup from season 3 on Netflix, or was it going to be a soft reboot so it can really be included in the MCU? Spoiler alert, they didn't mention the blip, where half the population went away when Thanos snapped. So how did that affect them? They didn't bring it up. So it still feels like it's in the MCU, but it feels like it's also not, kind of like the Netflix series. So we'll see. This is where I think DC is going to excel, where not all their properties is going to be connected to their main continuity. So the Matt Reeves Batman movies, which I do enjoy, doesn't have to now fix itself and force itself to be in the same universe as the Superman movie. And maybe that's kind of happening here. Do I need Daredevil to really be in the same universe as Guardians of the Galaxy? I don't think so. I don't think so. Um, Charlie Cox, holy crap, looks like he is a younger version of pre-baldness, pre-Captain Picard. Hey, I just picked his next role. Come on, baby. We have, oh, shoot, yeah. Because they have that series right now on Paramount Plus, right? Where you see a younger Captain Kirk, played by, I think, Paul Wesley. So they can like introduce a young next generation as the series goes on. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know my Star Trek timeline. I might just mess that whole thing up. But that's it, man. That's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about. Not much news, just some good TV watching. Again, Daredevil Born Again, freaking sick. Can't wait for episode 3. I don't really need the Defenders to come back, but I do need the Punisher to come back. But if they do, it's freaking dope. I'll be happy about it. If they do Luke Cage, I want to feel like The Wire. I want to feel like The Wire. Like I want it to be gritty in New York, even more than it was on Netflix. But that's all I got. That's all I got. Etc. I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna go back watching Reacher. Stream the first episode of Daredevil. 50-50. 50-50. Man. Really? Like, really? I loved it, man. I loved it. Not the beginning of the first episode. But since then, I loved it. But I guess we got to see where it's going. There's a lot of space for it to let us down. But I don't think it's going to. But we'll see. All right, etc. I'm out of here. Gonna go watch Reacher. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm gonna try to do this every Sunday at 4:00, Los Angeles time, Pacific Standard Time, which is 7:00 Eastern Time, and something else Central. Not really sure. Yeah, I'm still figuring this thing out. It's a new channel, but I'll be back. Same geeky time, same geeky channel. Peace.